Hello, my name is Dr. Dan Mason. My PhD is in Public Policy and Administration. Identity in Russia's invasion of Ukraine is covered in this video. The 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine is firmly rooted in national identity, history, and culture. The conflict cannot be properly understood without analyzing how identity politics have justified violence and resistance. Historical context and nationalism, Soviet legacy and historical ties. Russia and Ukraine share a history with the Kievan Rus, a medieval state they both claim as their own. Soviet rule complicated this relationship. Ukraine was a major part of the USSR until its 1991 disintegration, thus many Russians, including the government, saw it as part of Russia. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Russia faced a national identity crisis, alternating between Western values and recovering its old imperial grandeur. Russia wanted a unified post-Soviet area, whereas Ukraine sought a more distinct national identity and leaning toward Europe and the West. Putin's story and Russian nationalism, Great Russia Restoration. Putin has portrayed the invasion as restoring Russia's greatness and righting the perceived wrongs of the Soviet collapse. To justify the invasion, he has used Slavic heritage and Orthodox Christian tradition to portray Ukraine's independence and pro-Western orientation as existential threats to Russian identity and security. The Kremlin says its actions are justified by protecting ethnic Russians and Russian speakers in Ukraine, especially in eastern regions and Crimea. This narrative has justified the 2014 annexation of Crimea and support for Donbass separatists as a defense of Russian identity against Ukrainian nationalism. Ukrainian identity and resistance. Ukrainian national identity has been shaped by a strong sense of sovereignty and independence, especially since the 2014 Euromaidan uprisings that overthrew a pro-Russian president and shifted the country towards Europe. Ukraine's nationalist response to the invasion has united them in defense of their country and culture against Russian imperialism. Ukraine has had a cultural rebirth since independence, highlighting its unique language, traditions, and historical narratives which distinguish it from Russia. The cultural revival has increased Ukrainians' resolve to fight Russian rule and maintain their identity. International dimension. Russia aspires to maintain its influence in Eastern Europe, whereas Ukraine seeks integration with Western institutions like the European Union and NATO. This geopolitical tug-of-war depicts Western liberal democracies and Eastern autocratic governments' identity battles. Propaganda and information warfare. Russia and Ukraine use identity narratives to influence internal and international views and explain their actions. Russian media has highlighted historical and ethnic ties to Ukraine, while Ukrainian media has defended sovereignty and democracy. Conclusion. Identity influences Russia's invasion of Ukraine through historical grievances, cultural affiliations, and geopolitical ambitions. Russia invades to restore authority and safeguard perceived relatives, while Ukraine fights for national sovereignty and cultural survival. Identity concerns can significantly affect international relations and lead to war, as seen by the conflict. Understanding these identity dynamics is essential to understanding the conflict and finding solutions. Thanks for viewing. Comment, like, and subscribe for more videos like this. I hope to see you afterward. Take care.